Your contribution, what you think we should do. If you don't think or haven't thought about it, straight ahead. You're listening to hear what other people are saying. But at this point, we just want to hear, what do you think we should do? Straight ahead.
This is wrong. Zimmerman pursued this boy. What the Florida state law says that if you feel threatened, okay, Zimmerman pursued him, followed him. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill somebody. Okay. Trayvon is only 3 years older than me. Right now he'd be like 19. He'd be on his way out of high school, on his way to college. But his life was cut short because this man had the urge to have to kill somebody, to have to bring such brutality to this boy for no reason.
Anderson Cooper spoke with Juror B37. She used words like color boy and they. So already when she went in, it was them against us. And that jury sent a message that you can't come to our community. And if you do, this is what's gonna happen to you every time. My thoughts is like, what we dealing with is racism.
I watched the whole trial. You know, I personally believe that the case was botched from the prosecutor, and it was just to hush us up. But we can't just stop marching. We can't just stop.
Can you all hear?
Everybody.
Can you hear?
We just can't stop right now, though. We got to continue to do what we need to do and support one another. But it's great to see that people are mobilizing and doing what we got to do. But I believe we could do more. My solution to everything, like my 9th grade teacher did, he used to write, I'm going to leave you on this. My 12th grade teacher, his name was Mr. Marashne, and he never smoked. He was an economics teacher. And he said the way of the world, if you want people to listen, is you target their economics and you target their pockets. So if people don't want to support us, we don't need to support them, because we're the biggest consumers in everything around here. So one way people will listen now, we have money, we have wealth, target the economics. That's it, stop supporting these people.
We do not have to reinvent the wheel. We are standing here in front of the Adam Clayton Powell State Office building. There are enough people here who remember what Adam Clayton Powell did and how he boycotted and picketed for jobs on 125th Street where black people could not work in the stores. So what we're talking about, economics, boycott is a very effective means. It has proven, it worked in Montgomery, right? Now what happened in the aftermath is another thing, but it worked. We were able to mobilize for that period of time for well over a year and find alternate means of getting where we needed to go, and it worked. When Adam Clayton Powell boycotted, it worked, because then jobs opened up. So we can talk about a lot of other things in terms of taking responsibility for ourselves, but for an immediate response, I think boycott is the way to go.
I don't know if everybody realized that we spent $1 trillion in 2012. $1 trillion that came out of our community. We have to be more disciplined in where we spend our money. If you want to talk about Trayvon and the trial and what Florida did, you got to be disciplined in terms of where you spend your money and how you spend it. Again, we spent $1 trillion, and that money did not return back to this community. Our kids are not getting a good education. They reach the 12th grade. They can't get a job because of the education that they receive. If they don't have a job, they cannot stay in the city. What I'm trying to say to you, this whole discipline about what happened to us a week ago, we have to be committed to Trayvon Martin's family and to this issue. Please, please be disciplined in what you do and what you spend.
See, we are not this angry because of one person. If you put what happened in this trial in a historical context, as we begin to talk about this travesty, sat around and talked about it and started remembering
over here on the side.
The cases before this. The conversation went all the way back to 1955 in Emmett Till. And everybody, from Emmett Till to Trayvon Martin, every white law enforcement, sheriff, bully, thug, everyone was acquitted, no matter how heinous the crime. When Randy Evans was sitting on the front porch, the white cop who murdered Randy Evans said that he suffered from a rare form of epileptic motor seizure and temporary insanity, and the judge acquitted him. Those policemen who killed Eleanor Bumper, do you remember Eleanor Bumper? She was an elderly woman who was terrified when she saw and heard somebody smashing her door down. She ran into her kitchen and picked up a kitchen knife, had no idea who was coming through her door. When the group of policemen who were at the wrong apartment knocked the door down, they immediately shot her to death. And they were acquitted. See, our experience is that no matter how heinous the crime, if the victim is black and the killer is white, they will be acquitted. We're not angry because of this one verdict. You don't understand that? In a historical context, we are looking at a pattern of behavior that makes it clear to us that we are not struggling against stand your ground, because Randy Evans was killed, Amadou was killed, all of those people were acquitted before stand your ground. Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin because Zimmerman was assured that he could get away with it. His attorneys put up that flimsy defense because they understood it didn't make any difference what they said, that they were waiting for and counting on white privilege to be on their side. I'm saying to you that we are struggling against the institution of racism. There's the stand your ground law exists in over 30 states. But you don't understand, it doesn't make any difference. They kill us and are acquitted whether they stand your ground or not. Nobody takes us seriously. We've not demonstrated any clout. We've not shown them any of our political or economic leverage. But the point is, just be clear, what we are struggling against is the institution of racism. It is justice for everybody. And institutionalized racism is the enemy. And so we've got to begin to look at how we're going to respond within that context. And when you think about Trayvon Martin, just keep it in a historical context. Y'all with that? Thank you.
I would like to say that I do believe in boycotting, but I think that the same way all the gays went down in Washington, D.C. and camped out on the lawn, that might be something we need to do. And the first thing we need to demand in our community is to take all white police officers out of our community, because we already see what they do to us and our families. And the second thing is that Detroit declared bankruptcy. If we have enough black builders, we have enough black owners, doctors, lawyers, you name it, they ain't got nothing we don't have. I would say call out for all black people to go move to Detroit, build it back up, and make that our first state and city that we can take over, since they don't want it because it's all black. I'm just saying that one thing we have to keep in mind, elders, is that our youth are watching us. We sit by and watch, we drive by, walk down the street, and see the police have 2 young black boys hemmed up, and we don't say nothing. Now I understand we're shook, because we know we're going to get tased, beat up, slapped, or locked up on trumped up charges. But those days of fear need to be over. Because if our youth don't see us stand up for them, we want to sit here and wonder why they sitting here running the gangs, because at least they ride or die for them. So we need to let them see us ride and die with them too. And then maybe we'll see a difference, because they are the ones that are going to spark the flame.
and went under our guidance. So my whole point is, when we make our demands, the first thing is to get white cops out of our neighborhood.
That's right.
That's the number one. Because we can't trust you. It's enough in black and white to go to any president or anybody else and show what you have done. So my whole point is that if they don't want Detroit, let's take it.
What I think and what the action that I think needs to take place now is the black man going to have to step up. Stop playing.
That's what's up.
Stop playing. Put these young folks under your wing.
That's right.
Okay, never mind, oh, that ain't my child. Sitting up on the Jerry Springer show talking about who kid it is and all of that nonsense. Listen, every young black man in this community is your kid. Step to the plate.
We're here brainstorming because we want a solution. Our elders and our leaders already gave us the answer. Adam Clayton Powell was the king of boycotting. Before Martin Luther King boycotted, Adam showed us how to shut down a store. When America got a problem, they boycott Cuba. When America got a problem, they boycott Iran. Why? Because in warfare, that's a great tactic. It works. Martin Luther King proved in Montgomery that if we boycott the bus, if we shut them down, we'll get what we want. As the sister said, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. It don't take no rocket science. The answer's already there. Enough is enough. It's time to shut this mother down. And we call for the December 12th movement to continue doing what they're doing. Make a date, make a plan, make an evening where we can get together and say, what day are we going to shut this mother down? We don't want you to go kill nobody. All we want you to do, remember Malcolm said, there's two ways to fight the enemy. Either you hit him over the head or you hit him in the pocket. We're going to hit these bastards in the pocket.
We, as a people, and our allies, have not put in place the conditions for it not to happen again. There's a Trayvon tomorrow or next week because we have not taught them a lesson. We have not taught them a lesson. And that's what we must do. And we must all march in single file. It don't require all of us, but it requires the unity of most of us. So we say boycott Florida, you know what that means? That means you get on the phone and you say what's going on. You tell the person who lives next door to you. Tell your whole family. Everybody getting ready to travel, let them know what's happening. Let them know what's happening. Because we, and I want y'all to hear this, we are our own liberators. Ain't nobody riding up on no white horse to save us. That's over. And unfortunately, the only one who would have been Harriet, but she ain't with us no more. So there's some new Harriets out there to help us liberate ourselves. Very important in terms of never giving up their struggle. I want to bring up Brother Yusef Salam from the Central Park 5. Justice for who?
Trayvon Martin.
And the Central Park 5. Justice for who?
Trayvon Martin.
And the Central Park 5. Justice for who?
Trayvon Martin and the Central Park 5.
Peace, family. Y'all know me. I've been fighting this battle for 24 years. Vibration. Yes, yes. You know, the only thing that I can think of in the face of injustice is to stand to be counted. And we have to continue to stand to be counted. My mother was just here a second ago, but as y'all know, she's been fighting stage 4 cancer. And that woman is my hero. You know, yes indeed. Stress does something. It definitely does something to you. You know, she's in a bit of remission. But when I tell you that when it was time to stand and when it was time to be counted, she was there all the time. My mother, Sharon Salam,
was there all the time. This Tuesday coming at 10 a.m., she's going to be there again because we have a status hearing at the courthouse, 500 Pearl Street. We've been having these status hearings for a little while now. We was found innocent 10 years ago. So you could buy your way to make the thing turn out to be not guilty. But to be not innocent, but to be innocent is completely different than being not guilty. We got to stand to be counted. And I always leave the crowd with a piece of my poetry. And I feel like I just want to take a moment just to say something with regards to that. This piece was written in 1989. This is one of the great lawyers, one of our great lawyers right here. You know, but this one is called 1989, the turning point. Saying down with the blacks, but uplift the white race. Scottsboro, scapegoats, 6 more kismet. Justice, unjust, black robes and pale face. Raising the banner to the sun in haste. Mob deep, hoods and capes. Stained after being wet. Saying down with the blacks, but uplift the white race. Unjustly tried, an indelible conviction of rape. The usual result of what 6 shades of darker skin get. Justice, unjust, black robes and pale face. Didn't have a chance. 6 youth among apes. I wish I would have known the false smile. Understood the subtle sweat. Saying down with the blacks, but uplift the white race. Evil intentions, they still fulfilling their tastes. Why me, us, losers in this camouflage gauntlet? Justice, unjust, black robes and pale face. Black or shades of brown, we must keep the pace. Under burdens, with pain on our back, and erase the mindset of saying down with the blacks, but uplift the white race. Justice, unjust, black robes and pale face. Peace, family.
We used to conversate with ourselves in the street. We don't do that anymore. We don't talk to each other. And when something goes down, some of the times we don't even know what each other are thinking.
Because there's no respect and there's no honor.
Because as the sister said, we don't talk to them. And when we see something step into them that's incorrect, we lay back and as adults and elders don't step to defend them. But as I said, many of the things we're saying are very important. Many of the things we're saying we can make happen. But they're not going to happen if we don't change the culture of how we relate to each other.
That's right.
And so I just want to tell you ahead of time that we were out here last Sunday. We came this Sunday. And we'll be back out here next Sunday. And I want all of you here, from the time we leave and what we talk about, to come back with some more folks to see what we've accomplished between that time. And we're going to talk about what some of that is. Justice for who?
Trayvon Martin.